Hello, everyone. My name is Xavier Riddell with the marketing team here at Stamps.com and Indicia. Welcome to today's webinar on how to conquer peak shipping season with Stamps.com and Indicia. Before we get started, there is one quick administrative thing I wanted to cover. You will have the opportunity to ask questions at any time during the presentation by submitting questions in the Q&A box. We will answer as many questions as we can at the end of the presentation. Now, to jump right in, let me introduce you to today's presenter, William Carter, Lead Shipping Account Manager with Stamps.com and Indicia. William has been with Stamps.com for over 16 years, and he has helped hundreds of Stamps.com and Indicia customers simplify their shipping operations and grow their business over the years. Over the next 30 minutes, he will be sharing some best practices you can quickly implement today, leveraging features Stamps.com and Indicia offer to help you get ready for another peak shipping season.
Thank you for the introduction, Xavier, and thank you everyone for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend today's webinar. I'm excited to share with you some of the best practices I've seen from my customers that make them successful. I promise it's all easy stuff you can walk away today and be able to do. Let's start with the state of e-commerce today after COVID-19. E-commerce was growing steadily prior to 2020, but the pandemic drastically accelerated its growth. Let's face it, 2020 was a dire year, but it had some silver linings. Among them, a new consumer commitment to support local businesses, and that means another busy season for you. This year, e-commerce sales are expected to rise 11.3% to $206 billion and should account for 18.9% of total holiday retail sales, per research done by eMarketer. Bottom line, your online traffic will increase. Be ready for it. So what can you do? Start planning now. The holiday shopping season has started as soon as the summer. Many businesses have been telling their customers to start their holiday shopping early. And you know what? Customers are listening. How can you plan? Start by diversifying your shipping mix now. This has been my top advice to my customers if they're not already doing it. Most large shippers already use multi-carrier strategy. Why? The first reason, cost savings. Having multiple carriers allow you to rate shop for the lowest rates. Plus, the USPS just announced a temporary rate increase this holiday, starting from October 3rd to December 26th. This means they may no longer be the cheapest for that 2-pound package you ship to Zone 5. In both Stamps.com and Indicia, we support UPS with discounted rates up to 66% with no fuel or peak surcharge. You could be saving more when you ship with UPS. The second reason, reliability. It's important to have a backup carrier in case one carrier is having delivery issues. You have an alternate carrier you can use. Some of you may have experienced this challenge last year already. The key is to start shipping with that alternate backup carrier now, so you can build them into your shipping workflow and not have to worry about all that in the middle of the peak stuff. Lastly, more choices for you and your customers to meet all your different needs, whether that is overnight, 2-day, or 3-day shipping. There's more benefits to having more than one carrier, in particular during the holidays when customers want their orders fast and not have to pay a lot, if at all, for shipping. And we've made it easy for you to access these carriers within Stamps.com and Indicia. Here's a quick overview of the different carriers we support in Stamps.com and Indicia. In addition to USPS, UPS, discounts up to 66% off UPS daily rates. No fuel or peak surcharge when you ship through our UPS rates. No residential surcharge for UPS ground shipments. Guaranteed delivery on next day air services, which is great for those last minute holiday shoppers. Best of all, no volume commitment. Global Post. If you're looking for a reliable, low-cost international shipping service, check out Global Post. They ship to over 220 countries and have a network of last-mile carriers that allows them to optimize delivery times, so it's similar or sometimes faster than USPS. For example, if Canada Post goes on strike, instead of having your shipment held or delayed, Global Post may use one of their other carrier partners in Canada to deliver your package so there's minimal delays. Definitely a great backup carrier to have for international shipping. Plus, if you have over 5 international shipments a day, you could be eligible for up to 30% off. DHL Express is a premium express international shipping service. That means delivery in 1 to 4 days in over 220 countries. They're not as well known in the US, but they have a top market share internationally. That means your international customers can buy at ease, knowing their goods will be delivered by a carrier they trust. In the past year, with all the pandemic-related shipping issues, it is very important to your customers to know you are using a flexible and dependable shipping carrier to ship their goods. And we offer discounts up to 72% off for DHL Express with no volume commitment. With all of these carriers, we've secured discounts usually reserved for high volume shippers for you to easily access within Stamps.com and Indicia with no volume commitment. The way you print labels with these carriers, get reports for these carriers are all the same as you do today with USPS. Simply put, we know it's important to give you and your customers choices, and we make sure to make it simple for you to access these carriers. Automate where you can. Stamps.com and Indicia offer automation rules to help you perform tasks for the order you import so you can save time and ship faster. In particular, during the holiday, this will help minimize errors. I won't go into too much details due to the time, but here's a few common automation rules I've seen our customers set up. Under 1 pound ships with first-class package service. High-value orders over $100 and or shipments that require signature ship with UPS. Upgrade expedited orders to UPS second-day air. Ship all standard international orders with Global Post Standard. I recommend Global Post because it works like the USPS, but you also get value-added features like no custom forms to print and instant international refunds. For all other shipments, we also have a new feature called a Rate Advisor that will compare rates and delivery times across different carriers for you, making it easy for you to find the lowest rate for your every shipment. This is already in Stamps.com and Indicia. If you are using our client-based software and don't see this tool, you may need to upgrade to the latest version. Get your return strategy planned early. What will you accept for returns and with what return window? Are these policies clearly spelled out in your website? 76% of shoppers consider ease of return when deciding to make a purchase, so it's important your policy is spelled out clearly on your website. You can also consider extending your return window just for the holidays to generate additional goodwill. Remember, a return is an opportunity for a new sale if done right. Plus, using your website to be transparent about your return policy and really any other common shipping questions will minimize your call volume and provide a better customer experience. Stamps.com and Indicia offer 3 ways for you to send a return shipping label. On-demand return labels. This allows you to email your customers a prepaid printable return label for any approved returns. In-package return labels. This allows you to include a pre-printed return label in your outbound packages so your customer does not even have to contact you first. It's a hassle-free process and you only pay for labels that are actually used. QR code drop-off. This allows you to email a mobile-friendly QR code to your customers. No printer is needed. Shoppers bring their package to a participating USPS location where an associate scans the QR code to print out the return label. Option 2 and 3 are brand new USPS return features that recently launched for select customers. If you don't see this feature in your account, feel free to reach out to our support team and we can enable it for you so you can implement it into your shipping workflow before the holidays. We'll be adding UPS to these return options in the next few weeks as well, so look out for an email on that. I won't go into the how-to right now, but for more information on how to send or return shipping labels through Stamps.com or Indicia, simply go to our learning centers and type in returns for detailed instructions. Prepare for the worst. Insure your parcels. Most of you know what shipping was like last peak. I had a shipment that showed up 3 weeks late and one not at all. At the end of the day, even if you did all the communications alerting your customers of shipping delays or issues, which if you have not, that is another tip for you, pay attention to the information you receive from carriers and update your website accordingly. But regardless, if something happens, it is on you to make the customer happy again. So ensuring your packages protects you from the unknown over the holiday season. Include the harmonized tariff code with your international shipments. This is also known as HS codes or HTS codes. It refers to a standardized international system to classify globally traded products. While HS codes are not always required for export, they are very helpful to ensure your shipments are not delayed at customs due to the customs agent translating your packages as restricted goods, or more commonly, incorrectly assessing higher duties and taxes, resulting in your customers rejecting the shipment at delivery. Some shippers think that if they put nothing down, then they won't be taxed. That is true some of the time, but many countries like the UK and China are cracking down. Some are overtaxed due to the lack of understanding of the actual product being shipped. Having an HTC ensures consistency from the market to market and a few surprises for you and your customer. Global Post offers a free HS code lookup tool you can use to look up this for your international shipments. Check out our website when you get a chance. To recap, here are the 5 best practices you can implement into your shipping workflow today to get ready for peak shipping season. Diversify your carrier mix today. Add automation rules. Get your return strategy planned early. Prepare for the worst and insure those parcels. Include harmonized tariff codes with your international shipments. Now that wraps up my presentation. Xavier, back to you.
Thanks for all the tips, William. All, as a reminder, please submit any questions you have in the questions box. If we do not get to your question during this webinar, we will follow up with you directly after. Also, we will send an email out in the next few days with the webinar recording and links to any resources mentioned today for anyone interested. We've gotten a number of good questions so far, so let's jump right into Q&A. Here's the first question. I read that UPS is charging a peak surcharge, but you've mentioned a few times during the presentation that UPS does not have a peak surcharge. Could you please clarify?
So if you use UPS.com, the rates you get there will have a peak surcharge. The no peak surcharge only applies to UPS rates through Stamps.com and Indicia.
Next question. The UPS rates shown in Stamps.com, do they already include all the UPS surcharges, or is that in addition to any rate quoted to me?
Great question. Fees and surcharges are real and can add to your bottom line. So that is why with our UPS rates, many of those common surcharges are waived to give you real savings. For example, there are no fuel or peak surcharges with our rates on all UPS services. Also, residential surcharges are waived for all UPS ground shipments. With that said, the rate you see in Stamps.com or Indicia does include all UPS fees and surcharges to our best estimate based on the weight and dimensions you put in. UPS may assess your shipment and make slight adjustments based on what they assess for weight and dimensions, so it's always a good idea to double check your weight and package dimensions.
Thanks, William. Next question, where do I put the HS code for my international shipments?
There should be a field on the customs form for you to enter this information. Depending on which Stamps.com or Indicia platform you use, the field may be called HS tariff, HS code, or harmonization code.
Thanks, William. Could you explain the difference between Global Post Economy and Global Post Standard?
All right, another great question. I didn't get into the different Global Post services, but there are 3 services: Global Post Economy, Global Post Standard, and Global Post Plus. Both Economy and Standard use different postal carriers, including the USPS, to deliver your shipments. The main difference between Global Post Economy and Global Post Standard is Global Post Standard offers door-to-door tracking, whereas Global Post Economy offers door-to-country tracking. If you don't care about tracking but want the cheapest option, Global Post Economy is the best solution for you. Global Post Plus, on the other hand, uses a commercial clearance process, so it is faster than the other 2 services, includes door-to-door tracking, and gives you the option to prepay duties and taxes on behalf of your customers if you want. Think of it as a hybrid service between USPS and commercial services like UPS and DHL Express.
Thanks, William. We have time for one more question. For the return labels, will I get charged if my customer does not use it?
Stamps.com and Indicia offer 3 return solutions, and one of them is pay on use, which means you'll only get charged if your customer uses the label. For the in-package return label, you will not be charged unless the label is used. For the on-demand label or QR code drop-off return, you will be charged when you create the label. If the label does not get used, you need to request a refund within 28 days for a refund.
Great, thank you, William. Well, this is all the time we have today. If we haven't addressed your question on this call, we will make sure to reach out to you personally this week with an answer. I would like to thank you all for joining today, and I'm wishing you a very successful peak shipping season. Have a great rest of the week. Thanks.